Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, Shalom, Barakathum. And I'm going to react a little bit to like the first few minutes of this video and get some precepts about a very interesting topic. All right, you can kind of see the title here. All right, by the way, fair use. All right, and there may be a little bit of music or something played along in it. It's some kind of compilation, but you know, Lord willing, it's edifying. And let's get it.
Today, it is prohibited, and you can Google this, to do a DNA test in Israel. Totally forbidden. Wrong. It's illegal. It's a crime. You'll be jailed if you do a DNA test in Israel. Why? Because they know the truth will come out. You come from Poland, you come from Ukraine, you came from Europe, you came from everywhere else. And they were the original Middle Eastern Jews who lived together with the Muslims and the Christians for centuries. For centuries. So what happened to a lot of the Jews?
Watch what this lady says.
All right, so you see that, right? Let me get this real quick. I'm gotta weave some precepts in here. You know how we get it. All right, this is Revelation 2. All right, and 9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. All right, who has gone through tribulation and poverty? And why does the Lord have to tell us, but you're rich? All right, because we're gonna in the latter times, the people, all right, the people, which by the way are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, by and large, you know, we're scattered all. The diaspora is scattered all the way across the world, but by and large, that's who we are today. All right, what state are we in? Are we rich? You know, now this whole thing has been cracked open with all of that heat going on over there in the land. All right, now people are starting to question. Now critical thinking is getting ready to be banned. First, it was just frowned upon, but now you're not even going to be allowed to think critically. You're going to have to just think the way that they tell you to think, basically. All right. First, it was soft enforcement through terms and conditions on social media sites. All right, but now we're getting ready to go into a point to where you say that you're going to get dire consequences put on you, man. You're going to lose a job, and pretty soon, all right, they're going to be able to put hands on you. Okay, that's how these people get down. You look at these other 3 other agencies that support these people. That should tell you everything you need to know anyway. And it says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are us. All right, you see that word there, and are not. All right, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. All right. None of these people are going to go get put into a prison by Esau. All right. None of them. Not one. Matter of fact, they're committing all manners of atrocities, and they're not going to be answered for one of them. All right. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to get funding. Okay. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. All right. And it's not a literal 10 days, but it represents completion. Every man is going to have his cross to bear, so to speak. Okay. It says, be thou faithful unto death. All right. And I will give thee a crown of life. All right. That speaking about the hour of temptation, man. All right. Which it says is going to try the whole world. All right. But this gives a little bit more color to what's going to happen to the Israelites. All right. Every man, every so-called Indian or Elamite or Moabite, they're going to have that charagma situation. Right. But they're not going to be part of this. All right. Because Esau is specifically seeking us. OK. Let's let it play a little bit more.
About the black community being, watch what this lady says about the black community being Israel's biggest problem.
Major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
Uh-huh. All right, so you can see the name of this individual here. All right, and they're in Atlanta, a hotbed for who? for basically Israelites, man. All right, you see?
I had last week dinner, sit-down dinner at my house for 40 people, which are considered the.
How many people got a house that can fit 40 people for for dinner? All right. These people are paid, man. Don't get it twisted. All right. They're not in trouble like other men. All right. I'll put it to you that way. Like the scriptures say in Psalm 73, they're not in trouble like other men. All right. You can't even we can barely afford a house that can hold 6 or 7 people, man, for a get together. You squeezing people together in the living room, cranking up the air conditioning. Anyway.
Leadership of the black community.
They know that the Jewish people in Israel are not the original people.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
Ancient Israel, that's who we are. That's who we are. So, if you give me time, if you give me time,
But-
all that he said,
I know. We don't have.
so many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of
Yes.
notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But
Yeah,
here is
you see
my
that?
challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews?
Stranger danger.
Right. You see? Now going back, this is to the other point. This is Luke chapter 4, verse 18. It says, the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. All right. Who is that? All right. Who's at the bottom everywhere? So-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. All right. It says, he hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives. All right. They were not brought captive here. How did they get here, man? All right. They fled here on their own free will, by their own hands of the mustache man over there in the 40s. Okay. All right. That's what happened. Okay. And then some nigga named Balfour signed a piece of paper that said, here you go. All right. That's what happened. When you look at how we're supposed to be delivered, it's with an outstretched hand and a mighty arm. All right. Not paperwork and geopolitics, man. All right. And it says, and recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. All right. How are they bruised when they're at the top of every corporation? All right. And I can't even go down that path of the positions that they hold in this world, because, Esau's already scrutinizing channels and everything, man. But basically they're winning at the top, even over regular Edomites. All right. And basically we're the opposite, man. All right. You see? And why is it illegal to get tested there, man? Because what you're seeing here, they're gonna show a little bit of it. They all come back. Now that 23andMe thing doesn't give you paternal patrilineal descent. It can't tell you who your father's father is. All right. So that's why we don't really get into DNA. All right. but the fact that they can go in and be upwards of 99%, 100% European should tell you something, man. All right. Which they're not the original Europeans anyway. All right. That's why all the DNA tests are basically folly. It basically tracks where certain genetic groups lived, throughout history, but it can't tell you. You're not going to be able to trace DNA back to the Table of Nations and Genesis 10. Okay, you're not. All right. So why is it illegal there? You see what I'm saying? because they are not the poor, they're not the brokenhearted, all right, and they were not captive. Moving on, let me see.
Christmas morning. This feels like Christmas morning. I got a 23andMe ancestry and health kit. I think that I kind of want to start with the ancestry side. And it says ancestry composition. I'm 49.9% Ashkenazi Jewish. That's not a huge surprise to me at all, since my mom's side of the family is completely Jewish. My dad's side is not Jewish though. So let's go to there. Let's see what's going on. This is like, I feel really like on the spot. Okay, so I'm 100% European, which again is not a huge surprise to me.
Which tells you that this thing right here, you can see where I'm hovering the mouse, the Ashkenaz, all right, are also considered European. You see? So they're not us, man. All right, and they're not the originals. All right. They're a knockoff, great value brand of our religious practices, really. All right, which they go to hell off on that, because it really ain't based out of the scriptures, man. It's really based out of the Mishnah and the Talmud. All right.
But it's just funny seeing it like that. I'm 49% Ashkenazi Jew, totally. British and Irish and German and French, a little bit Scandinavian, northeastern European.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not super exciting, but I kind of know all of that information. I didn't realize how much of my family was from Germany.
Right, because the Germans, they're just damn near the same people. You know, that it wasn't a coincidence of why there were so many there. All right, in the events of the 1930s, 1940s, World War II. Okay. This is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith?" All right. That's who the Lord chose. And we're the poor of this world. But in the next world, we're going to be the rich can't even describe what we're going to be in the next kingdom, man. We're going to be immortal gods, basically. Do whatever the fuck we want. All right. With the caveat that we're only going to have the nature to do righteousness. It's going to be written in our inward parts. All right. And it says, "And heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him." All right. Heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him. Now you can go back and read about the promise. Because the vocab will try to tell you that it's for a spiritual Israelite. No, it was promised to Abraham and his seed, and then he renewed that with Isaac, and then he renewed it again with Jacob. All right, and he made a covenant with David that David was going to rule. He was going to be the ruler and the ruling house of that nation of people, man. Nations of people, because we're really going to be 12 different nations. All right, and it says, "But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat?" What do we have in this society, and who is it run by? The Southern Poverty Law Center, the ADL, all these different 3-letter organizations, and they're so-called bringing you to task. They're canceling people like Kyrie and Kanye on the internet. All right, they just revoked billionaire status from Kanye overnight, man. All right. And these people are funding, you got organizations like AIPAC and all of that. They're everywhere, man. Okay. And it says, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by which ye are called. All right. Right. Because they don't have any respect for the name of the Lord, man. All right. What do they say? Hashem. All right. Israeli. You-ish. You see? So these are not them, man. All right? They don't have it. They did a bait and switch when they put us in captivity in West Africa. All right? And they ramped the propaganda all the way up as we were. There's a reason why he put so much time and effort into making sure we couldn't speak a certain language. We couldn't have our names. All right? And we certainly couldn't read the Bible. All right. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the earth in the hands of right now? All right. Why is the president of America, the leader of the free world, so called, getting up there saying, "Oh, we gotta pledge to help them no matter what"? Why is he doing that? Because he reports to somebody, man. All right. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? So this is why you're called black today. All right. He came up with that name, man. All right. So he can call himself white, be associated with innocence and purity and virtue, which he's the opposite of, man. And that's why we call him the devil, which means deceiver. All right. And last precept, I'll close it here. All right, because I'm iffy on how long to let all of this play, because, you know, it's just a matter of time. Esau, you know, his algorithm start looking through things. But watch this video on the channel. We Woke Now. All right. Jeremiah 12:1. Righteous art thou, O Lord Yahweh, when I plead with thee. Yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doeth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously, man. All right. That's them. All right. It says, verse 2, thou hast planted them. Yeah, they have taken root. All right. They grow. Yeah, they bring forth. Yeah, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth and far from their reigns. All right. So they go by names like, you know, a Yehudi, and in these various different things. They're in the land. They're walking. They're trying to walk the walk, or imitate it at least. All right, but ultimately, what do you when you examine it a little bit closer? What do you see? You see cities like Tel Aviv. All right. You see matrilineal descent, which they means your mother passes on, you know, your nationality, not the father. You see, they're far. All right. Verse 3, but thou, O Lord Yahweh, knowest me. Thou hast seen me and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter and prepare them for the day of slaughter. All right. So that's what's coming to these people, man. The Lord sees what's going on. He sees our frustration. All right. The angels, Yahweh Shai, and the heavenly host, the hierarchy of the heavens, man, they're all witnessing this thing, man. They're ready to come back, man. All right. So we just got to hold on a little bit longer, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom.